baby was born, I was often desperate to get out of the house, to walk somewhere and be with other people. Even though I was always with the baby, I felt very much as if I was by myself. So to be near other people, I would go for long walks carrying the baby in a sling that hung from my shoulder. On the walks, I would be near other people, only for a few brief moments as I passed them by. Still, that felt like it was some sort of more to me. On these walks, if the baby started to cry, I would stop and sit at a nearby bench and nurse him. Sometimes men spat at me as I did this. At first, I was not accustomed to being spat upon, and then when it happened, I would be surprised and dismayed. But eventually, I got used to it and came to expect it. 2. I got used to the spitting, but I did not get used to having the body that got spit upon. My mind would think something, that my body is once again my body, but my body was not really agreeing with this because it felt even less like it was mine. When the baby came out, something that was not me left me. However, it had not left me with my former self, but with a new self, and I did not yet feel as if the self was mine. My body was new and often did new and often unexpected things. It was not just that my breast now produced milk and the milk seemed to have a life of its own, spurting out across the room at moments. And it was not just that new hormones coursed through my body and made me feel new emotions, some pleasant and some not. But my brain was also different. And so when I tried to talk about my new self that did not yet feel as if it was mine or talk from this new self, I did not know the right language. Words came out wrong. Often I said them backwards, or I confused their order in sentences, or I tried to say I feel weird and I would find myself saying I am fat, or mix several languages together in one sentence. 3. Not only did I not know the right language, I didn't really know how to fuck anymore. Nursing would send oxytocin coursing through my body, so I knew how my body might feel good, but I could no longer remember how to make oxytocin when fucking, although I did remember that fucking used to make oxytocin. I had gotten used to fucking with the baby before he was born. He took up a lot of room in the bed. He was there. It was nice, but then after he came out, there was a hole in myself, and I had not yet figured out how to fill it. I had started fucking again a month or so after the baby came out. When I had sex at first, the hole felt big, too big. The baby had only stretched a hole for a few minutes as he descended down out of the birth canal, but it was long enough to stretch out the hole, and it took several months for it to close back up. When I fucked with someone, there might at moments be something inside that hole that felt so empty, something filling it up, but I was still not whole. 4. A few months after the baby was born, after I started fucking, I began to spit on my lover, usually when we were fucking. Even though by this time I was used to men spitting on me when I nursed, my sudden desire to spit on my lover was unexpected. I did not know what to make of it. Sometimes my lover would exasperated scream at me to stop spitting. But most of the time we just kept fucking, my lover sometimes dodging the spit, sometimes just lying there and putting up with it. This is from Alphabet. 1. Apricot trees exist. Apricot trees exist. 2. Bracken exists and blackberries. Blackberries, bromine exists and hydrogen. Hydrogen. 3. Cicadas exist. Chicory, chromium. Citrus trees, cicadas exist. Cicadas, cedars, cypresses, and cerebellum. 4. Doves exist, dreamers and dolls. Killers exist, and doves, haze, dioxin, and days. Days exist, days and death, and poems exist, poems, days, death. 5. Early fall exists, aftertaste, afterthought, seclusion, and angels exist. Widows and elk exist, every detail exists, memory, memory's light, afterglow exists, oaks, elms, junipers, sameness, loneliness exists. Eider ducks, spiders, and vinegar exist, and the future, the future.